Hello, dear friends. As human beings, we are not meant to be alone. We are not meant to be the only one who is carrying all that weight of the world on your own shoulders. We are not meant to be solitary. Of course, solitude from time to time is definitely a healing and good thing, but in the core, we are social beings and we are craving that connection deep down. We are craving that web that is connecting us to other humans, to the animals, and to the rest of nature that is here with us, the whole planet, basically. If we don't have that connection, if our community is not really working or not really active, or if the quality of the relationship is not really heart-based but more complicated, we suffer. Deep down, it's really the heart that wants the connection, that wants to feel connected to the community, to be seen, to be heard, to have a healthy self-expression, and to help others and be helped when needed. So in this video, I would like to talk about communities, about heart-based communities and what it means to me. And I would like to walk you through the heart-based community building course so that you can see if there's something for you, if that's something that can inspire you on your mission, on your journey. So communities is something that we used to have as human beings. We used to have the village, right, in old times. And in some places of the planet, it's still the case. You still have this healthy village community where people help each other, where people support each other, where they are organically doing things together and they have a strong sense of community. Maybe you've heard about the blue zones, places on the planet where people are the healthiest and enjoy old age in good health. And a very important part of their lifestyle is the connection to their community and to nature, but also to the community. So the sense of community is really something that we still underestimate how much it affects our health. And talking about the physical, physiological, about the mental and the emotional health. So if you're somebody who is on a mission to improve this world in some way, to help people feel better, be healthier, be more connected to themselves, to nature, to others, remove whatever is blocking them from the nice flow of life. So never mind what your occupation, what your mission, but if you have this wish and practice of contributing to the whole in some way, then I would love for you to have a beautiful, loving, heart-based community around you that supports you and that nourishes you. And I'm curious about your experience with that because in my experience, there are so many people who have this dream and who are building the community, or they tried and they came. There are some struggles, there are some obstacles on the way, there are some questions, there are some topics, and usually the core of them is, how do I reach people? How do I share my mission without being like a salesperson, or without being all the time online and still placing calls to action and still inviting people to the community or to the offerings. So this is one struggle, like how do I spread about my mission, spread the word about my mission, our mission, and yet uh, stay connected with my heart and don't lose myself in promotional work and online time that is draining the energy. So a big piece of that is, how do I do this? How do I build a community? And at the same time, keep myself balanced, keep my own cup full, my batteries full, so that I can actually give and so that it's a sustainable way of building a community and changing the world. Because the real mission is really you. It really starts within, with your own nourished being with your own frequency, that you keep high, that you keep your vibrancy, that you keep your honesty, because sometimes we are tired, and let's allow the fatigue also. It's also okay to be tired sometimes. It's also okay to feel some shadows from time to time. And there's a big piece of awareness and authenticity and self-expression that comes with that. And these are some of the topics that we talk about in the heart-based community building course, which is especially designed for well-being professionals. But really, if you're creating community around your work, if you have something to share, then this might be a very valuable resource for you. Let me walk you through it. I'm going to share my screen with you, and we can just have a look inside the course. So this is what you see once you're logged in. And the course is really self-paced, and most of the content are videos or audio, so you don't have to read any long texts. There are no homework assignments and things like that. So no stress, no extra to-do lists to your already busy schedule, I can imagine. But there are play sheets and there are reflective writing questions. So after each piece of content that you watch or listen to, you will have a list of reflective writing questions where you can choose, like, what is the one thing that got my attention, that is somehow landing in me, that is alive in me. And then you can write about it. And in that way, you can get beautiful insights. And with the play sheets in this course, I'm saying not worksheets, but play sheets. We are playing, we are not working here. You can implement them directly. And it can be much faster of a process than we might imagine, because an insight is just like that. Just like that, you have this moment, this moment, and you feel this creative urge to somehow directly implement it in a very little baby step in your daily life or in the way that you do things. But the play sheets are an invitation for that. So here on the left, you see the structure of the course. You see that it's starting with connecting with your intention. Then we dive deeper into the heart-based way and what it actually means to be connected with your heart and communicating from the heart, and how heart-based communities work and operate. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about it in a moment. Then comes the the uncomfortable part of looking at our shadows, because it's, like I said, it starts with ourselves, and there are all kinds of patterns and programs that we are all carrying with ourselves. And sometimes it's just like that, and you can break them. Sometimes it's a longer process of awareness and tracing them. But it's a beautiful and important piece of work of freeing yourself from those patterns. And there comes an incredible freeing and empowering feeling with that once you look at these patterns. So I'm going to go into the details in a moment. Now just the structure. So after the shadows, we come to the light. And this is starting with the komorebi journey. Komorebi is a Japanese word for the light, the sunlight in the forest, the sunlight, the sunbeams that are filtered through the leaves of the trees. So you have the shadow and you have the light. So after looking at what might be blocking us and our progress and our growth and our community building, we see the light and we look at examples how things can be done in a light way, in an easy way, in an effortless way. Then we dare to simplify and play. And there are also two bonuses: the Bohemian recipe for living lightly and the Bohemian recipe for abundance. So let me go a little bit more into detail. I had so much fun creating this course. You can't imagine. I was just, oh, so it was a beautiful process for me to dive deeper into these topics together with people who contributed to this course and who shared very honestly and very authentically about their experience with building communities and about their struggles, about their wins and realizations on the way. And of course, also using my own experience about this topic from the past 20 years and things that I've discovered, things that have always been there, but I wasn't conscious about them. And then the moment I became conscious about them, all things changed. So beautiful process, like I said. And I wish for you that you can go through this process as well with me, with yourself, with the nature that you are, with the nature around you. So in the first module, connecting with your intention, it's of course more like an easy way, easing into the course. So with a focus on the practical part of it, because it's a very deep journey, but at the same time, it's really important that we're just not exploring those topics. It's not just theory, but that we actually bring those insights into the practical life. That's when it's comes alive. That's what matters, right? So you will see how to get the most of this course by implementing some little bits already with the play sheets. And you'll be planting the seeds of your intention, planting it in a very deep way, in words, beyond words. And we also discuss the process of planting an intention, having a clear intention, and at the same time letting go and not be fixed and attached to that intention, to the very plan that our mind likes to create. So that's the art of the subtle action or non-doing. So that's the introduction to the course, basically. And then we dive deep into the heart. We will have a look into what is heart-based, what does it mean, and why, of course, why is it needed in this world that is dominated by the thinking mind in our society? And what happens when you go back to the heart? How do you recognize that right now, the decision that you're making, the conversation that you're having, that it's from your heart and not from the mind? I'm going to share my journey with heart-based communities in different realms, throughout the years. So my journey with language teaching and how I created communities for expats in the Netherlands and how I discovered what I've actually been doing all the time. And then a journey with forest therapy guides and a journey with dragonflies, the Econidra teachers, and some other communities that I've explored, and they are still alive and they're still very deep in my heart and in the hearts of people. Even if the older communities, like the language-based integration routing communities, are not really active at this moment. But still, I know that those people have our community and me in their hearts. And each time that we talk, it's still active, it's still alive. So yeah, sharing about this, talking about the subtle action. So this setting a clear intention, creating clarity, and then letting go, laying back, relaxing, and letting the earth help you. And of course, by that, you're connecting with your own heart. And when an action comes that needs to be done, you're going to recognize it and you're going to do that thing. I'm sharing about my study of something that is really fascinating for me and that I've been studying for years, which is the heartfelt sense of the present moment. Our heart as an organ of perception, our heart as a sense, our heart as a nonverbal communication way with other beings, including the non-human beings. So diving pretty deep into this subject. You're going to do an Econidra session, a deeply relaxing session connecting you with nature and with your own nature, with your inner nature, and you plant your heartfelt wish in a nonverbal way. So it's the feeling and the imaginal realm, the senses that connect you and that make it alive in your system as if it was already happening right now. Reflective writing and play sheets are always in each module. So that's the way to integrate it, to anchor it, and to pick the cherries that you actually want to eat that day or that week that you want to implement in a practical way. Now, the next module are the shadows. And I'm talking about the 4 resistance archetypes that we, in some way, we all have them somehow because they're part of the collective society, the schooling system, the way we raise children. We just got them. But in most of us, 1 or 2 of them are more active, and it's really good to be aware of them, to recognize them, and to take action once they appear, because you don't want to let them run your life and the way that you're doing things. It's just not a enjoyable way, and it's not a conscious way of approaching things. Connected with that are the silent scripts. So the silent scripts running in you that you inherited from your family and your teachers and your schools and the society and the media. And again, a process of awareness, of shedding light on them without rejecting them, without rejecting yourself. It's the opposite. It's actually appreciating yourself, that you were a good person because you wanted to learn from others. You wanted to learn how to be a successful being in this society, in this world. So you learned those scripts and you just accepted them kindly from others. And now they are maybe not useful anymore. Now it's time to change them. So again, the appreciation for yourself, that you're seeing them, that you're shedding light on them, and that you reclaim your personal power by choosing if you actually want to keep running those scripts or if you want to change them. Some of our programming, so the silent scripts are one, not asking for help. Another program we have, hiding behind the practice, and avoiding showing up, avoiding self-expression for various reasons. We are talking about this in that chapter. The trap, I'm alone in this. I'm the only person who can do this well. All these things, the illusion of the mind, especially the tired mind, the mind that is processing a lot. Perfectionism is anti-life. Talking about radical respect for other beings, including human beings, and what it means when you treat people, when you communicate with them with radical respect. So that means without any manipulation whatsoever, not wanting to people get, your course, or not pulling people even on micro levels. So that's the radical respect for every being and their choices and their existence. I'm talking about cults, cult leaders, because it's easier than you could say, that you could imagine to become a cult leader by creating this division between us and them. Us, our community that knows what is important for the world, and the rest that is sleeping, or that's already a beginning of a cult, right? So some awareness about this one. I'm not expecting you to become a cult leader, but I felt the need to address this topic a little bit. And again, we're going to reflect by writing about some of these questions, and you're going to play with them. After the shadows, we look through the leaves and we see the sunlight filtered through the leaves. So first you're going to have an audio journey that will guide you through this Komarebi journey, guide you through a sensory journey where you see the light filtered through the leaves. And in this module, we're going to look at the way that it can work, that it works, and how to do things lightly, how to do things with ease and with joy. So joy and ease are really the keywords here. So, because when it's a struggle, when it's too much effort, it's only temporarily that you can do that. Otherwise, you'll drain your energy, you will feel exhausted, you will feel down, and you will probably stop eventually, because it's not sustainable. And if you are tough enough to push through, then probably your body will show you at some point that, yeah, that's not the way to push through. So nourishing yourself and your community as the very base of everything, nourishing yourself so that you can keep the frequency high, so that you can give to others. Some examples and tips for local communities and for online communities. And a beautiful example of connecting with your community through circles, the way of counsel. A few words and few musings about kindness, the acts of kindness. So something for others or for the world without expecting anything in return. And words of magic, how we are artists of our life, of our perception of, we are artists, we are creating art with our words, with the choice of our words and the load, the energy that we put into our speech, into our words, into the way that we express. We'll talk a little about what you could call marketing, and many of us have this allergic reaction to that somehow. Because we have many things attached to that, to sales and to being pushy and things like that. And again, like all things in life, it's about relationship between you and the rest of the world, between you and what you're doing. And it's about perception, so how you perceive it. And there's a way that you can share from your heart, authentically share in a way that works for you with people, and that they will follow you by themselves because they feel you, and not because you're trying to pull them into your community and make them join your events, but because they simply feel that you're authentic and that you are connecting to something and to them. And there are ways to be discovered and not being pushy. There are ways to boost your discoverability on the internet, for example, and not your visibility, so that you spend all days online and keep up with the algorithms of the social media and all that. It's really not necessary. And yeah, so the next chapter is also the different way of doing social media. Lots of experience with that. And then also a reminder that the path is the destination. Because if you're somebody who has a mission, it might feel at times that the mission is the goal, that once you've reached this and that, then you're successful, then you've contributed to the world. But we all know that the path, the present moment, is actually what matters. The quality of now, of your now, is the quality of your life, really. Yeah? It's the quality of your mission. So it's very simple. It is very simple. So that brings us to the next module, which is daring to simplify and play. Daring to, because it really takes some courage to not buy into the complexity of the world, the complexity of the human mind, and overthink, overcomplicate things, but to really dare to prune that tree, because it helps the tree to focus on the branches that do actually matter. And playfulness is also something that we somehow lost. Children are playful and animals are playful, and adults are suffering from adultism, which is very serious, a serious thing. So let's dare to play. And so there's this guided imaginal journey, the light in your eyes, and you can also find this on YouTube, so you can actually do this journey without even doing the whole course. It's something connecting you with nature, with your body, with your senses, and with the light in your eyes, and the moments that you actually feel it, the moments of joy, and how to bring them more into your life. In this module, we are exploring how to make things easy and fun for yourself all the time, with every task, with every workday. How can I make this easy and fun for myself? That's a question that I wake up with when I start my workday. Whenever I do a task, I ask myself these questions. 3 examples of community builders and their honest sharing and questions and some reflections about that. So that makes it beautifully authentic and beautifully connective, because we see, once you'll be listening to those stories, you will see that we share so much than other people's experience has a lot in common with your experience, likely, I would say. Definitely, it's the case for me. We are creating this new world together. So that's what I wanted to end with, and what I want to end with right now as well. It's not about a solo trip. It's not about trying to do this on your own. It's not about, it's not heavy. It's not heavy. It's really, it's a village. It's a collective thing, and it's much easier and simpler than we imagine. But we have to dare to look at the shadows, to see the light, to connect with our intention, and to know consciously what we are actually doing with our heart. So that's what it takes. And yeah, I love this course. So you're totally welcome to join if it's something that speaks to your heart, if you feel that it might be inspiring for you. And then there are 2 fun bonuses: the Bohemian recipe for living lightly and the Bohemian recipe for abundance, which is something that I bring from my own roots, Bohemian roots, to you as some extra inspiration and something to play with. Thank you for listening. And yeah, I'm curious about your journey. I feel somehow already connected to you. And I know that you're doing something in the world that helps to make the world better, and that makes me feel connected to you and grateful to you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for having the courage to start this journey. And thank you for the awareness and that you are the life that is learning about life.